Hi, this is Barry Schwartz from the Search Buzz Video Recap. This is the Search Buzz Video Recap, and today is October 8th, Friday, and I thought we'd cover the past week of search news. I'm not going to go too far back. I missed the past 2 weeks of this video recap, and I thought I'd go through the news over the past week or so. The first thing I wanted to cover was I wrote a big post about the October recap. So basically every month or so I do a recap of what's going on in Google. And October 4th I posted this recap for everybody to read. And I'm going to go ahead and post this in the chat room for everybody to take a look at. But basically the main things that are going on, at least according to this Webmaster World thread, which I cover pretty much every week, there are people who are constantly saying there's small ranking updates going on. There was a PageRank update. But they're saying like a lot of root domains that tend to rank well have been dropped out. There's a lot of people complaining about unexpected traffic spikes and dips, and there's also some other things where people are talking about how Google Instant is actually impacting their search results. So the main things I covered this past month or so in September was obviously Google Instant went live. It's still early and still about 3 weeks since it's been live, almost 4 weeks, and we'll see how that goes. There was a minor PageRank update which actually impacted this site. We used to be penalized with a PageRank 4, and now we're only penalized with a PageRank 6, so that's something I noticed. There was also some ranking updates done earlier in September. Google came out with a new SEO starters guide, which you might want to take a look at. And also there's Google came out with this rel alternate tag, which we discussed in the past week. So if you want to control multilingual types of sites, you can actually do that better with this rel alternate tag. I have some more discussions over here on October 4th about what most important things that happened over at Google in the past month. You can take a look at that as well. I'm going to move on to the next topic, which is Google's blue triangles. So if you do a search in Google today and you're running on Google Instant, you will see a blue triangle come up at the top result. It shows up on the ads, it shows up on the organic results depending on what you do. And basically that blue triangle, you just arrow down and up, and that blue triangle will go down with you. There are people who are complaining that when they go to Google search results, using the arrow up and down doesn't scroll one line by one line. Now instead it scrolls by search result. So that's the complaint. Now there are blue arrows in there. It's part of Google Instant. It wasn't launched initially, but now it's launched with Google Instant. So if you see that, great. Another thing Google is actually now testing, and they confirmed that they're testing, is a magnifying glass in the search results. So if you go to Google and you see this little magnifying glass on the far right of the search results, and let me show you a picture of it. So you can see a picture of it over here on my screen. Let me zoom it in. See the little magnifying glass over there. It actually basically will show you a page preview of the page you're mousing over and hovering over hovering over the magnifying glass. Google actually was testing a feature like this back in, I think, a year ago, or maybe November of last year, and basically it was an option you could actually turn on. That was back in November of last year. Ask Jeeves launched this binoculars feature back in 2004, which pretty much is the same thing. You mouse over a pair of binoculars on the search results, it shows you a page preview. And supposedly Google tested this back also a few months after Ask.com came out with it. But now it seems like Google's really pushing a test on this. We have a post about this on October 7th at SERoundtable.com. K Mudd in the chat room is actually saying, Gabs is actually saying it highlights the keywords too, which I guess is, he's talking about the blue arrows. And K Mudd is saying that this is much different than the more search tools and the page previews. Yes, it is much different. Definitely much different, but that was Google's first real thing with page previews. Alright, moving on. Webmaster Tools related. Bing announced at XMX East some new features coming to their Bing Webmaster Tools. Back in July, they revamped their Webmaster Tools. They dropped out a key element, which was the link report. The link report is something that obviously SEOs really care about, but they dropped it out. Yesterday, when Bing, not yesterday, on October 5th or October 4th, when Bing demoed at XMX East, which I went to, they showed inlinks, a new report called inlinks, which basically shows your linkage data over time. You can actually export your linkage and stuff like that. Also, they released a new tool in there, or they're releasing a new tool in there called Link Explorer, which basically gives you a preview or a detailed review of every single link on your website, an analysis of every single link on your website and how it's crawled and what data they have about it. So it's pretty interesting. I have some very, very poor screenshots of it taken on my iPhone. Taken on my iPhone while I was watching the demo, and you can take a look at that on my screen right now. It's pretty crude, it's hard to see, but if you want more information about this, we have a blog post on October 5th at seroundtable.com, so you can take a look at that. This is coming soon. I think they want to launch in about a week or two, but they wouldn't give a guarantee on when it'll be launched. On the Google side, Google Webmaster Tools released some new features as well. It hasn't even been announced yet at the Google blog, but basically a few months ago they added impression and click data to their query report. Now they're actually showing percent changes and rank changes on those query reports. So let me bring up my screen one more time. Zoom in there, and you can actually see you have the keyword data here, but now they also show you percent change on the impressions, clicks, and click-through rate. Plus, they show you average position and if you increased or decreased over the past date range that you have there. That's pretty useful, obviously, to have, and also supplements some of the webmaster reports that people are using. Yahoo announced a new user interface this week. It was a couple days ago, maybe a day ago. The new user interface is, people are calling it accordion style. I don't really have much to say about it. You can definitely take a look at the Yahoo announcement at the Yahoo search blog at ysearchblog.com. It has some more details, as well as it's been discussed over the past couple days on the blogosphere. But I do have to say one thing about it. Yahoo announced that the Yahoo search transition on the paid side is going to be powered by Ad Center, obviously, so you won't have to manage your Yahoo ads on Yahoo. You can actually manage them on Ad Center, and Yahoo's going to totally get rid of it because obviously Bing is going to be powering and Ad Center is going to be powering Yahoo completely. This Monday, the transition for the ad side is happening. It's not going to be 100% a transition, but it's going to happen starting Monday, and it's going to be completed by October 25th. Yahoo announced the date of October 25th as the completion date. So by October 25th, if you don't have a Yahoo search campaign, you will not show up on the Yahoo search, the Yahoo pages for any of the ads. So you have to get your Ad Center account set up. That being said that Yahoo has a new UI and it's so much better. One thing I asked and I didn't realize, you actually cannot differentiate your accounts, your campaigns, your ads, your keywords, your landing pages between Yahoo and Bing. So if you are managing an Ad Center account, and let's say by October 25th, Ad Center is powering Yahoo completely, you can't say to Ad Center, I want this ad I want this specific ad to show on Yahoo and this specific ad to show on Bing. You can't do that. And the question is why? When you ask Yahoo why would somebody go to Yahoo over Bing, Yahoo will say that they have a much better UI, user interface, they have a much better search experience, they have different searchers, blah, blah, blah. If that's so true, why wouldn't they provide a way for you to target the different search users for a different search user interface? And that was my rant that I posted on today on the Search Engine Roundtable on October 8th. And basically, to me, it's like either lazy or maybe they'll release it later, but they had no plans to do it when I asked them. The question is, why not? Kay Mullen in the chat room said, since they are not doing unique SERPs, will we see a fight for display usability ramp up? Yes, we are. I mean, you see that right now. Yahoo keeps saying over and over again, basically, we have a new user interface. It's better and different because of this. Bing's been making changes to user interface. Google has too with Google Instant. So you see things like this happening. My point is, you should be able to differentiate between Yahoo ads and Google and Bing ads, even using one Ad Center account. All right, moving on. We're almost done here, I think. See, on the AdSense side, there's a lot of Google publishers who are complaining that AdSenter's reporting and earnings have dropped drastically over the past 2 days. We have threads over at Webmaster World and the Google forums with complaints that the earnings per click, the earnings per impression, the impressions are down, the everything is down. Personally, I think it's just a reporting issue. I think it'll fix itself over time. Not everybody's complaining, but a lot of people are complaining. We have a post about this on October 8th. This really coincides with Google Analytics having problems a couple days ago with their reporting, as well as AdWords having problems with people logging in their reporting as well. So I'm not sure if it's all related or not. I don't know if they'll admit it. So far, Google has not admitted it to anything, and I guess we'll see what's happening in the future. Late September, BingBot finally arrives. Technically, BingBot is a replacement of their MSN bot. From now on, BingBot will be the name used as opposed to MSN bot, which is Microsoft's crawler. Obviously, BingBot will comply with all the MSN bot rules, so you don't have to necessarily change your robots.txt file, but you might as well. Also, it was originally announced that it's going to happen October 1st. It actually happened September 29th, and we have a blog post about that as well. On the search side, Twitter revamped their search engine. It's not a new user interface, but rather it's a whole new backend. It's no longer using MySQL. It's using a whole search interface. They built it off a open source thing, which was, I forgot what it's called, but they built it off some open source search engine feature. It's much faster, does a lot more detailed, quicker, and does a lot more things faster and quicker and deeper. So that's really what it's about. And obviously they're able to use more relevancy factors in there as well. Let's talk about Google logos quickly, and then we'll wrap it up. On September 27th, as you know, it was Google's birthday. They had a special Google birthday cake, which was pretty nice. You can see it on my screen now. On September 29th, it was the Flintstones 30th anniversary. They had a special Flintstones logo globally. And tomorrow, is John Lennon's birthday, but ready on some properties on Google Australia, and Google New Zealand, and places like that, which is ready tomorrow. Plus, early in the UK, Google has released a Google John Lennon logo, which is actually the first time Google released a video logo. So if you go to google.co.uk, and I'll do this right now, and you click on the logo, up comes a video with obviously John Lennon music. I'm going to skip through it. And basically when the video is done, it actually goes to a John Lennon search result. There you go. So finally, this past week was XMX East. I was there. We covered a lot of sessions at XMX East. We covered about 24 sessions. If you missed it, you can see our recap post on October 6th. Thanks big time to Avi Walensky and Shira Goldenthal from Pro Media Corp for helping with the live blog coverage. Also, Marty Weintraub from Aim Clear. Thank you so much for your help. And again, if you missed any of the sessions, October 6th has a complete recap. Thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz video recap. My name again is Barry Schwartz. This is the search news we covered over the past week at the Search Engine Roundtable. Today is Friday, October 8th. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.